but you could also send it to like Slack or to Teams or to a webhook. You could have it. What are you doing?
This is usually what most requests look like, just for the record. Wow, that was, I think that's a first for us. I managed to draw it before you finished describing it.
Okay, I'll take the hint. Fine.
Hello, and welcome to Over-Architected with Nick and Holly, where together we're experts in AI and data engineering, but separately, not so much.
This is the podcast where we talk about new features in Databricks and then try to shoehorn them into a single architecture to see if it's actually realistic. And here are our favorite features from the last 60 days, not 30, because I had the audacity to go on holiday. But we are going to start off with a big AI announcement. Nick, do you want to tell us what it is?
Huge. Databricks X OpenAI. It's happening. Big partnership. Just landed, I guess, last week, depending on when you watch this. And it's that the GPT-5 model suite, so GPT-5, Mini, Nano, all available natively on Databricks.
Mm-hmm.
So my GPT usage is now free.
Excellent.
I mean, this is huge for everybody. It's huge for everybody, not just me.
Yeah, so I think we're also one of the first providers or first partnerships to be able to provide models like this. Is that my understanding?
With that, you get the governance aspect. So now no egress, everything's in Databricks natively. It can be used in Agentbricks. It can be used as part of AI query in your SQL queries. It's all built in. This is like really, really exciting.
And then I think there was one other element to it as well, which was they have also announced as part of this that they are also a customer of Databricks as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're allowed to say that? Sorry, I really took us on a detour.
You know that.
But, here, the point is, and this is the big, I would argue this might be the best part of the announcement. Since we have this partnership, one, and two, customers. Now, everybody at OpenAI can use GPT-5 through Databricks. I mean, come on.
I guess we should caveat this by saying we don't actually know how OpenAI uses Databricks. Funnily enough, they don't share that information with Nick and myself. So, frankly, anything we say is guessing.
Wait, okay. So there's that partnership, but there is one more thing. This was because Holly went on a holiday. We did miss a chance to speak also that the GPT OSS models are also available on Databricks. So both things are bundled into one.
Pardon my ignorance, like these are a bunch of models. I don't think I understand the difference. Like I understand like a small model versus a less small model, but in terms of like the open source aspect of it, I didn't think OpenAI had an open source model.
The differences are that GPT-5 Mini and Nano are proprietary models, and those are new as part of the partnership. The GPT OSS models, there was a bunch of different sizes, like a 120B, and I don't remember specifically the other ones. Those were, as far as I recall, synthetically trained on or trained on synthetic data using a lot of the new reinforcement learning techniques. So they are reasoning models, but they're obviously not as powerful as the proprietary models.
Okay, awesome. All right then. Is it time for me to try and put this onto a diagram?
Yeah, it's just like an
Model.
LLM thing. It's just a box, I think, right now. Unless you want to go for it, like you want to go big.
LLM. Done. No, like so has it got like provision throughput and stuff like that?
Yes, I think so.
I think the open source one does.
The OSS model for sure has that, yes.
OpenAI, GPT, OSS. Let's pretend that we're going to use it with something like, I don't know, AI query. We'll see what we're going to query later, but...
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, shall I go with the data engineering one?
I wanna add something to this. So
real-time mode in structure streaming is now available in public preview. No more micro batches anymore. This is processing everything concurrently, so you don't have to necessarily wait for the micro batches to finish. And the way that they do this is actually they make the batches bigger, so you've got long running batches, but ultimately the need to have that complete has been removed, and everything is processed now concurrently within those particular slots of your cluster. So there are some real advantages of this. ultimately you are going to get like super like sub-second, like millisecond level streaming. You are going to get something that is
Nanosecond.
yeah, like really, really fast. This is gonna like pass all your tasks within memory, and then instantly process those and write those out as well. Now, there are a few big changes compared to how, if you're used to structured streaming in Spark, how this has changed. There are a few things that don't exist anymore. So your checkpoints and your metrics now exist per like long-lived batch as well, which means recovery time can be a little longer. You also don't have like batches or watermarks anymore. So things like for each batch doesn't exist anymore. Or if you're like doing drop duplicates with watermark, that doesn't exist anymore. Like those concepts don't exist. And that also impacts the output mode as well. So there's no complete anymore, unsurprisingly. There's no append because that is dependent on watermarks. It is update only, which was a bit of a surprise for me. I thought like append would be easy, but apparently I don't know what I'm talking about. It is update only. There is also a bit of like dependency Jenga in terms of like the sources that you're using. Or some of the, like if you're using like specific UDFs or if you're using some like particular syntax. So I do really recommend going and having a look at the documentation. If you're thinking this is something that you want to use, the feature parity is not as, the coverage is not as high compared to something like structure streaming, but you've got that massive advantage that you are now able to process your data so quickly and you're not dependent on those batches or those micro batches completing anymore.
Amazing, amazing. And so, if I understood you correctly, it is if the APIs, if how you're using streaming is within the supported features, it's literally just a configuration change in your set.
So it's now real-time trigger,
Hmm.
and that is available. There's also a suite of other things as well to help you with this. So things like there's like an observe API where you can get the latency measures for this. So you'll get like the average, the maximum, P50, P99. Yeah, of how well things are processing. And then also a bunch of other things have been updated to help with it as well. So if you're using like event time timers, they are supported. If you are using like display, that also works with the real-time mode as well. And also things like rate, if you've ever used that for data generation, that is also supported with real-time streaming mode as well. That came out in 16.4. It's part of the LTS runtime, so that's super nice. If you want something to use today in production, it is ready to go.
My key question before I put this on our diagram is:
Yes.
does it support our custom state APIs, like the new transform with state? Like, can I use it in real time?
Yeah, you can use transform with state. There are
Amazing.
um a couple of nuances with that. There is not a one-to-one match in terms of the exact feature, and there are a few little nuances. So yes, that's possible. But again, check the docs if you've got a particular stream in mind to keep in
Okay.
mind. So for example, like there's no stream join anymore because you don't have watermarking. But you can do a stream static join if you're doing a broadcast. So again, the third time, please read the docs before you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna delete all my code."
Okay, okay,
Because
okay.
this
I get it.
does
Sorry.
happen.
Sorry for making you keep going.
I'm not
Third
doing it for
time.
you, I'm doing it
Nick,
for everyone at
Nick, read the
home.
docs, Nick.
Yeah,
Nick,
read the
read the
docs,
docs.
yeah.
Okay. So we have this endpoint. We don't really have like a business use case yet. So we're still kind of in technical land. But I do think we need to say there's some kind of stream and we're
Mhm,
applying our new model in real time to the stream. I just think
mhm.
that makes sense. So we have, I guess, this arrow. That's
Okay.
going to be our stream. And can I just do stream? Real time streaming. Real
Um,
time Spark streaming. How's that?
um, um,
And we are going to do some inference using the endpoint. How's that? But what is it? What is the stream of data and what are we?
I know what we should do to really extend the olive branch to OpenAI. I think what we should do is we should design some architecture for OpenAI now that we are obviously BFFs. And they're obviously going to be watching us to listen to what our ideas are about how to use Databricks. So maybe we make something for them and think about what are the stuff that they would like to have real time streamed in.
That was a nice word salad. The use
Thanks.
case is a use case.
All right, I don't see you coming up with any better ideas.
We are doing inference.
Okay.
I have no idea, Holly. I'm really sorry.
Did you want to add anything to the just real time streaming? Just
No, I don't know.
okay, fine. Right, next feature.
I mean, did you think that we should have something
I'm
to?
just saying, I listed a whole bunch of features that it does, a whole bunch of interesting things.
Actually, you said it's a new feature. It doesn't have full coverage of the existing features, aka boring, and and that it's just really fast. Like that's all the feature is fast.
Yeah, that is.
Super,
Yeah, that is
super
pretty much
quick.
it. It is fast. Yeah. Okay. This is why they don't let us do the press release notes.
Oh dear. Back to the AI side of the house. Few features to talk about. They're not exactly new features, but we did release some interesting research for both of them. So I thought it was worth speaking about. So the first one is the knowledge assistant, and the second one is information extraction. It's called ALHF, so agent learning from human feedback. And it's built into our knowledge assistant little tile for agent bricks that makes it really easy to create like a Q&A type bot knowledge assistant. And the idea there is that you can use natural language to improve it. And it's very, very good. And the research paper is really interesting, goes into all the gory details. So that's number one. And then number two, and this one just released, we announced and shared some results having to do with automatic prompt optimization. And kind of the summary is that you can use an open source model, and you can use DSpy. Have you heard of DSpy yet?
Yes.
So it's a framework for automatic optimizing of
I always thought it
prompts.
was pronounced DS Pie. Have I been
DSpy,
saying
DSpy. I
have
don't
I
know.
been saying it wrong this entire time?
DBD. I'm sure if I don't know, maybe Omar will send us a note, be like, "You guys are stupid."
Yeah,
It's called
it's
it's
neither of
called
those things.
neither. It's neither of those actually, dummies.
Okay.
Really, the big insight is that you can get a much smarter model to help optimize the prompt for a kind of quote dumber model. So you could use like a proprietary sonnet to help optimize the prompt that you would pass to a GPT OSS. And by doing that, you can not only uh, get the quality of responses that are as good as the proprietary models, but you can do it at up to 90x cheaper. Now, 90x cheaper is a huge kind of statement, and so the real place this happens is at scale, right? So it's just simply because when you're doing inference and you're doing it, if you're doing it enough, that's where the savings really add up. So like on a single, prompt call, like it's not going to be that much different. But if you have a use case where your agents are calling a lot, in that case, it would be extremely helpful, and the savings are tremendous while maintaining the quality that you would receive in the much more expensive proprietary models.
Ask a really dumb question.
There's no
How
such
is
thing
this
as a dumb question, Holly.
You haven't heard it yet. Uh, how is this different from distillation?
Well, in abstract, I suppose it's similar, but in particular, distillation is a technique for um, taking the existing kind of one very, very smart model, taking its outputs, and then fine tuning or training a quote stupider model on that. So it's just really kind of it's an actual training step. Whereas this is all about prompt optimization. So
Oh,
so you
okay.
don't have to retrain the model. This is like taking an off the shelf model and making
Okay.
it so much better simply by updating the prompts.
So if I've got my diagram here and I've got AI query, within that I have like my prompt, and then I have my my column, my data that I'm putting in there. And so what this is going to do, so this has to be part of Agent Bricks. So do I need to make an Agent Bricks box?
I think if you want to include agent bricks in here, then I think what we should do is say like that the inference from the real-time Spark streaming is no longer going to directly to this endpoint. What it's going to is an agent bricks endpoint, and that agent bricks endpoint is supported by, let's say, GPT OSS.
You are now Agent Bricks, and it was information extraction, right?
Yeah, let's do information extraction. I think that's a really nice one.
Okay, so it's
I think
information
we now
extraction.
we now actually have a real use case.
And so we can use this in here like this. Is this
Yeah,
how this
pretty much.
works?
Yeah. I mean, you can put it
Yeah.
inside or you can put it kind of outside because Agent Bricks will like technically the endpoint for the OSS model will still exist outside of that as like a logical entity. So it'll call it at some point, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh, so is it more like this and then like
Yeah,
this?
hmm
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so maybe our stream is like a real-time stream of PDFs or, whatever, something that needs information extracted out of. I'll note that like I don't know if OpenAI needs to do this, so I don't know if we're still doing it. Are we still trying to do this for OpenAI?
I think this is a beautiful gift. It's really helping. It's going to solidify our partnership.
Yeah. Hey,
Why would they not like it?
don't use your internal proprietary models. Instead, use AgentBricks with your open source model.
I bet no one has had this idea at OpenAI. Like, we are
Yeah.
truly innovators and unique thinkers, Nick. I'm looking forward to seeing how you're going to shoehorn the next one in, because the next thing we've got in data engineering, is spatial geometry and geography data types. If you're not familiar with the difference between the two of them, so they are data types. A geometry is like an XYZ coordinate, whereas a geography is like a latitude and longitude. So don't necessarily think about like an integer or a string. Think more about like a variant where you can get like really complex things within a data type. And now you can get all of this kind of geography information within that data type. And to go with it, to manipulate that data, we've got about 80 brand new functions that are there to help you with this. And you might be saying, like, hey, Holly, what's the point of all of this? You're now able to run this kind of natively on Databricks. In terms of speed, it's like 20 times faster than maybe it would have been previously. So hopefully you should be able to see some real performance improvements. But in terms of the types of things that you can do, you can create shapes, you can create points, you can make lines, you can say whether a shape is valid or not, you can add shapes together, you can say what is the distance, what is the area, but you can also then say things like, does this point, is this point like within this particular shape that I've made, or does this line intersect this particular shape that I might have? And like I said, there's like 80 different functions because there's loads of nice features like try catch to see if it's actually going to work or not, like dealing with invalid shapes. And then also the source that you can use as well. You've got like GeoJSON, text, and then some things that I did not hear about until today, which is WKB and WKT.
Nice. Yeah, you're right about challenging to shoehorn this in. Um,
Could the information that we extract be geography and information?
I will make a new box, and this will
Okay.
be our Agent Bricks model orchestration. So, since we haven't talked about that specifically on this episode, Agent Bricks model orchestration allows you essentially to connect a bunch of different agents together. So we'll have the agent breaks information extraction, which will work with this. We're going to create a custom agent, another one here. This one will have a tool call to geospatial functions. And this will be, what do we call this agent? Our geo, a geogent. Yeah, baby. Watch out.
This is the minds that OpenAI didn't
Uh,
hire.
well, this is like kind of like the universal use case, right? We could just keep extending it. It's just different agent. Oh my God, it's AGI. Yeah, let's call it that. Okay,
Right.
we're gonna go deeper and deeper now into how to wait, are you happy with this?
No, never. Let's go.
Some new features in the AI BI Genie space. So Genie has some improvements to the file upload interface. So now the file uploads that you make to Genie are scoped just to the Genie space. There's improvements to some of the join relationships. So you can get more expressive with the SQL expressions within the Genie workspace, which is very nice. And then this is kind of Genie and Databricks apps adjacent. So the Databricks app now supports a Genie space as a resource. So it'll do the permission linking automatically. So when you deploy an app, it will have like the service principal will already be configured to have access to the Genie space. So what that really means is the Genie space has an API, and now you can call that API in a governed, secure fashion from the app. So if your app needs to access intelligence, that's in a Genie space, that's on some tables in the Unity catalog. That's easy peasy.
Okay, so I think I know how I'm going to put this in. So I
Okay.
think we need to have like a reconciliation step in here where we're going to upload a file, and then we're going to do a bunch of stuff. And then we're going to use AI BI to figure out whether it's reconciled properly. But we're not the experts, so we'll put it in an app so they can get access to it. How does that sound?
I have no idea what you mean. So I like that's it doesn't sound dumb. It doesn't sound
Okay.
smart either.
Right. So I reckon I've got a reconciliation file .csv, and that we're going to upload manually because I think you said file upload had been improved, right?
Yes, it's scoped to the Genie space.
Yeah, so we're going to have that for like a G space, and we are also going to surface this within an app. I'm going to put an app here so everyone can ask their questions about whether their reconciliation has worked or not. And in terms of what we're going to have in this Genie space, we have the output from like AI query, don't we?
It's included. It is one of the features and one of the ways that you can use the OSS model, but I don't think it was actually part of our use case.
Could be now. All right. Extracted details. Does that like come out of here or does that come out of the orchestration? I'm confused.
Well, the extracted details are returned ultimately to the caller, which would be the real-time Spark streaming.
Oh, so it goes back in there.
Yeah, like imagine you have rows that are coming in, and each row is
Right.
like, the binary of a PDF or something like that. And it makes like a UDF type call, and that UDF type call calls Agentbricks model orchestration endpoint. And then the return value is going to be your extracted details.
Okay, cool. So that's going to go into my stream. Oops. Oh, okay, right. I see. Uh, then this table, this is going to be a delta table anyway. So I can take this stream and I can point it at a Genie space.
I don't know about that.
What do you
You
mean?
could write the stream to a table in Unity catalog and then have Genie
Oh, okay.
space
Yeah,
point.
okay, fine.
So yeah, we didn't really create like a where does the stream go scenario. We just kind of
Sorry, I just assumed we were
no,
writing to
go do
delta
all
because
this
that's what
work.
I
Don't
do.
store it anywhere. Don't send it anywhere. Just do the work.
Just do the work, spin up a cluster, use as many
Yeah.
as many nodes as possible.
And then delete it.
Details. Right. So what are we going to have a catalog? Let's OpenAI as the catalog name, and then we're going to have real time. This would be bronze data, wouldn't it? Bronze dot extracted details, and now we can put that into our Genie space. How about that?
Yes, perfect. That
Great.
actually, in theory, works. No comments about the actual use case, but it technically works.
We can also join these as well, can't we? Now we've got fancy joins that we can do. Joined data. Which I did notice actually, because previously I had to like prompt it and ask it really super duper nicely to union all of my data sets that I wanted for a
Right,
Genie
right,
space. And now you can
right.
just specify and be like, hey, this is exactly how I want you to join my data. You don't have to prompt it anymore, which is nice.
And I should clarify that the CSV file that you have, this file upload thing, I think the key thing is that I kept saying it was scoped to the Genie space, but
Yes.
it's the file will only be visible to the user who uploaded it, which is very key.
Oh. Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
this has completely ruined my
just keep
my
going.
idea. Okay. It's a one person
The
app.
architecture works. The
Yeah, it's
architecture
like app
works.
for one. That's what we've got here. App for one.
Well, see, no, the thing is, okay, so I haven't tried it. So the release notes mention that it's only the person who uploaded the file can access it. I'm not entirely sure that that means that uh, anybody who has permissions to the Genie space can't get something from that comes from that file. it seems to imply simply that the data itself, like the actual file, whatever the CSV file, cannot be accessed in raw. But if
Okay.
you query Genie, then perhaps it's still included. Otherwise, that wouldn't make any sense, right? Like it
Okay.
wouldn't make sense if it was scoped only to the single user.
What if our app allows us to like upload the CSV file and then be part of the Genie space? I don't think this is possible, actually.
We are now in purely the territory of like making things up. So,
Okay, then we can put a pin in this and come back and see if it's actually
Mm.
feasible.
All right, it's my turn to suffer.
Okay, I really don't know how you're going to do this, and that is recursive CTEs, which are now available. It's a Databricks sequel. You can now do with recursive and then name your table and then say as. You've got sensible things in there like a max recursion level as well, so it doesn't go completely wild. But you can also do like nested and like triangular recursions as well, which is quite nice. So it's not just like limited to one level of recursion. You can have like multiple levels of recursion if you really fancy doing that.
Oh dear. Mm. You couldn't have chosen a different feature, huh? That just had to be the
Uh,
one. Uh, there's really nothing else that you can talk about. Okay, I have no idea where to put this. I think our one key area where this even technically could potentially work is the bronze table, the extracted details table.
yeah.
So, we have DB SQL, and obviously DB SQL is where you're going to be doing kind of your analyst type work. So we have our new CTE recursive. I guess we can just, if you need it to, in theory, work with this table. It's the only place where it literally technically won't error. Everywhere else, I can't even see how it makes sense. Are recursive CTEs available in Genie Space SQL? Doubt it.
Uh, I
Actually,
think you'd have to prompt really hard to make it do that, but you could have it as maybe like as an example query.
all right. So, last thing from me, improvements to the assistant in the notebook experience. Um, few months ago, when we were originally going to make this episode, it would have been the new edit feature. And the edit feature in the Databricks Assistant could edit across several notebook cells. So the like notebook experience with the assistant is really turning into its own little IDE. It's really fantastic. It's like I'm no longer having two windows open and doing something, copy pasting, trying it with ChatGPT or whatever, and then like pasting it back. But since then, in addition to this edit mode is the new agent mode. And the first agent is the data science agent. Um, so it's an agent that's available into the assistant interface right next to your notebook, and it's capable of creating kind of multi-stage data science workflows. If you've heard of the Titanic data set and the flows like that, things like that are now possible with this data science agent that can break everything into steps, do all the prep work for you, run all the calls into multiple different cells in the notebook. It's really, I think it's a great start, and in the future, the model will literally just do everything for you.
Wait, so hang on a minute. So I'm like, hey, I have this data set. Can you do some feature engineering and then do a linear regression? Will it do that?
I think so. Yeah.
Huh.
How crazy is that?
That is crazy. Has that just made AutoML completely obsolete?
I doubt it. No, not quite. My presumption would be that it can leverage AutoML because like AutoML is right to make a like an ensemble of a bunch of different models and like
Yeah.
try them all out, average the best results and things like that. So not quite the same thing. But yeah. The point is it's very useful to bootstrap your workflow, right? So if you're
Okay.
just coming into some data set, you're just trying to work with something, throw it in there, let the agent try,
Mhm.
and go from there.
I know exactly what I'm going to do. I think I am going to take all of the responses from our Genie space and predict what's not going to reconcile. So a Genie space system table, and that's got the results in here. I'm going to build a model. And then what are we going to do with that model? I don't really know. Maybe we then use the model from that to then feed back into here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to make a silver table which includes this feedback. So we've got more inference. Excellent. But classic inference. There you go. And now idiots like me can build models all over the place. What's not to like?
That's just what we need.
Look what we've unleashed onto the world. Okay. Final feature for today. Unity Catalog now has the ability to have a bit of a workflow in it. And if you don't have access to something, you can now request through Databricks. You can press a button, you can send a little message, and then it goes to the owner to say whether you can get access to the thing or not. So previously, I don't know about you, but at Databricks, if I wanted to find the owner of something, hopefully I'd have access to it so that you can at least see the metadata of who owns the thing. But if you can't even see that, it is impossible to find the owner, and you just kind of have to hope for the best. Now, anyone can send these messages, but you can not only request access for yourself, but you can also do it on behalf of another user for a group or a service principal. And, oh, like your little person drawing. How sweet. But you can send it not just to an email, but you could also send it to like Slack or to Teams or to a webhook. So if you've got something like ServiceNow, you could have it. What are you doing?
This is usually what most requests look like, just for the record. There you go. New feature. Wow, that was, I think that's a first for us. I managed to draw it before you finished describing it.
Okay, I'll take the hint. Fine.
But that's an awesome feature. I actually, it's funny. I noticed that, and when I noticed it in the workspace, I was confused. I was like, did this always exist? I feel like this should have always existed. And I just started noticing it. So glad to hear it's a new feature.
Cool. All right. So I think that's us for features this month.
Okay.
Out of 10, how would you rate our architecture this month, Nick?
2.
What do you not like
2.
about it?
It doesn't have a coherent like use case. Like there's no real use case. We haven't identified that. And it technically also, I think, like doesn't really make any sense.
Okay.
And yeah, it's pretty awful. I'm just like giving room for us to be even worse in the future. So that's why it's a 2 and not a 1.
But I mean, in terms of like a technical perspective, I know we have no use case for this whatsoever, and no sane person would build it. But if we did build it, would it work?
Like, I mean, each box is like an input and an output, and a return. So like, yeah, will it not crash? Yeah, but like it's, it's literally meaningless.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also not sure how well this Databricks integration with like real-time streaming, how well that would work either. So I am a little bit dubious about that too.
It's funny because it would be sufficiently slow that the real-time aspect looks like would not really be that very useful. It's like, oh my God, we can process your data extremely fast, except if your step takes a long time.
Okay, and I think for that reason, because one of the things with real-time streaming is like, yeah, it is more compute heavy because you constantly need to have like the slots are always available. And because of that, I think we have just made this so much worse. I think I'm going to give this a 1 for being
A 1. There's like nowhere to go from there. It's that bad, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I think this is pretty terrible.
I'll take it. That's fine.
All right, then.
That's it for this month. Let us know if you agree. 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 0 out of 10. Don't be scared to tell us the truth.
With that in mind, hopefully there's been some features that have piqued your interest. I'm going to put all of the documentation links in the notes below. So if you want to have access and go and look at this in more detail because you want to use this seriously, then please do. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next month.